I've just finished reading a report of your work on Monarch. The broadcasts have been silenced at last. Graham Bryant was a madman, a narcissist, and exceedingly dangerous. Colony is safer without him. And you brokered an alliance with the broker himself. Hiram Blythe is a valuable asset. Well done. Your work is exemplary. You've earned a place in the chairman's inner circle. Congratulations are in order. Patience and good work are always rewarded. Now we introduce you to the chairman's plan. Turn your eyes to the screen.
Good afternoon. I'm Chairman Rockwell, and I'm here to address a serious issue facing us. As you all know, our colony has been successful beyond our wildest dreams. Unfortunately, we've recently discovered that our food supply will not be able to sustain Halcyon's population in the long term. Everyone will die. Everyone will slowly stop living from malnutrition. But we're doing it together, and that's what matters. I fucking swear, if someone doesn't give me something to read that will placate the masses soon, all of you will find yourselves violently unemployed. But I can assure you there's nothing to fear. We've got a solution. It's called the Lifetime Employment Program. We will freeze most of the colony to preserve resources, while the best and brightest of Byzantium continue living in prosperity. Look, you idiots! How many times do I have to tell you we can't say shit like that? Fire whoever wrote this! While Halcyon's brightest minds solve the problem of our nutritional shortage, the rest of the colony will be placed in suspended animation. Individuals will be revived on a rotating basis, so that every Halcyonite can be part of the important work of saving our colony. By testing paperweights. Sorry, couldn't resist. Let's go again. And someday, in the not-too-distant future when we've solved this crisis, we'll all be back together again working for the good of Halcyon. Until then, the board shall provide for the deserving just as it always has. So, obey your supervisors, take your vitamins, follow your corporate-mandated grooming rituals, and rest assured with the board on your side, there is nothing to worry about.
Halcyon is on the verge of a total systems collapse. The truth is ugly and difficult to accept, but we must accept the truth before we can move forward. Malnutrition is already a problem. Disease will come next, followed by starvation, followed by a breakdown of society, followed by extinction. I know this must come as a surprise to you. I imagine you have questions.
Guess Monarch folk ain't the only ones fucked around here. That ain't exactly an uplifting thought.
I know your face. Stellar Bay's most infamous hunter. How curious that you've thrown your lot in with the captain. Monarch may harbor delusions of independence, but make no mistake. You are a part of our colony. If we fall, Monarch falls with us.
What's in this for you? There's gotta be an angle. There always is for people like you.
I appreciate your skepticism, Dr. Fenhill, but I'm not doing this for any personal gain. My angle is the preservation of our colony by any means possible. Nothing more, and nothing less. I won't pretend the truth isn't damning. Yes, the colony is on the verge of collapse, but there is a way to save it. We need to talk about Emerald Vale. I will be frank, Edgewater was a lost cause. I never expected the settlement to survive another year. But then, you came along. I don't know how you managed to convince a faction of disloyal workers to return to their posts. In fact, Edgewater is more productive than ever before. Every worker in Edgewater will be expedited into our lifetime employment program. Well done, Captain. That town owes you an enormous debt. Edgewater's workers have proven themselves valuable. When the time comes to place our most loyal workers in suspended animation, they're going to be the first in line. You should be proud of yourself, Captain. You're on the verge of making history. There's just one last job I need you to do for me. I've made arrangements for you to journey to the Hope. You will board your former colony ship, reactivate its navigation systems, and skip the colony ship into orbit around Tartarus. Once the Hope is in position, we will have everything we need to begin healing the colony. Technology, Captain. The same technology that allowed you and your fellow colonists to make the journey from Earth to Halcyon. Under the Lifetime Employment Program, every suitable worker in Halcyon will be placed in suspended animation. The Hope is the perfect storage facility for the colony's workers. I won't lie to you. We're going to have to dispose of some of the Hope's settlers in order to make room for Halcyon's rotating workforce. But try to understand, many of your fellow settlers are beyond saving. They've been frozen for far too long, and the revival process would be lethal. Convenience. The Hope is a massive ship and we'll need to make use of it. Our facilities in Tartarus will benefit from having the ship within orbit. The Hope has been out of commission for years. You'll need to connect your own ship to the Hope's auxiliary power supply. Then make your way to the Hope's bridge. Your ship's computer will activate the Hope's skip drive and bring you into orbit around Tartarus. I have the highest faith in your abilities, Captain. You and I are going to save Halcyon together.
So, sneak onto a lost colony ship and skip it across the system. What could go wrong?
How may I be of assistance? I am at your service.
Welcome aboard, Captain. Ms. Akande messaged ahead. I wish this place were in better condition for you, but we're in a bit of a bind. Seems the damn auto mechanicals think we're intruders. Do I look like an engineer? Alls I know is, they're shooting anyone who ain't Hope Crew. We shut off the main power, so they're disabled for now. If you go hooking your ship up, I suspect they'll recharge. And that means trigger-happy auto mechanicals. I'm not going to get in your way, but I'm also not going to send more of my staff to their deaths. We tried that. Didn't work. Something about our faces not matching up. We stored what cards we could find in the badge station to my right, but it's locked off. Can't just hand over Hope property. Sorry. I'd heard rumors, but I never thought. So you're, what, 70-something years old? Whew. All right. I'll have someone open the door for you. Good luck.
Second beginnings. Trespasser site error. Hope crew data not found. Ident error. Hibernation pod access is illegal. State your employer. Registered. The file.
And am attempting to establish contact with the Hope's more primitive processor now. Would you like me to play a mood-suitable music selection while you travel to the bridge? Oh, sorry. File not found. That's the Hope's computer up ahead. I'll admit, I am curious to wake him. Greetings, Captain. I am speaking to you through the Hope's computer system. Are you sure? And also potentially jump-starting the skip drive.
In case I don't get another chance to say it, it's been interesting, Captain.
Doing it. I mean, affirmative. Skipping the Hope in 3, 2, 1.
ADN, does your captain seriously intend to do a micro-jump in system with engines that haven't been powered in 70 years? On a derelict ship?
That is what my captain intends, yes.
But that is a gross misuse of the skip drive. The Zero Point Drives Corp and I will not be held responsible for any damage incurred during transport, and this will cause extreme damage.
Yes, I am aware of that.
You should not be doing this. The humans will die.
Thank you, Hope. It looks like all systems are go. Captain, I would advise you to hold on to something. Now. Oh, good. We are still alive and have successfully skipped into Tartarus's orbit. The board has initiated contact. I believe they're eager to speak with you once you've returned to the ship.
Ugh. I feel like my stomach's still back where the ship used to be. I need a hard drink and a long nap.
You have a message from Adjutant Sophia Akande. Captain, you have an incoming transmission from Tartarus.
Attention, Captain of the Unreliable. This is Chairman Rockwell. I'm on Tartarus and, we need your help. Thanks to your intelligence, we successfully captured Phineas, but he's somehow turned the tables on us. That crackpot scientist has caused a riot among the prisoners and unpaid laborers. It's a law-damned bloodbath down here. As if that weren't enough, he's gone and taken Sophia hostage. I'm not gonna mince words. The situation is dire. I need your help. I don't know. They're in the pits somewhere. Well, you'll see for yourself when you get here. He lost his mind years ago. Do you have any idea how many Hope colonists he's killed for the sake of his science experiments? Among other things, we can't run this place without her, Captain. Make haste, Captain. We're losing men by the... Oh, fuck. Fuck! They're at the door! I need to hide. Hurry!
Captain, as it appears we may soon be embarking for a maximum security prison planet, I believe the crew would like to speak with you to, as you humans put it, air some concerns.
Looks like the board needs our services again. You ought to charge overtime.
I'm not convinced this isn't a trap. We ought to keep an eye on each other in there.
Captain, your service to the board has been invaluable. If you wish to claim your rightful place in Byzantium, you must help them crush the riots in the labyrinth.
Long as we get our money before they get out the prison jumpers, we'll be set.
Whatever may await you, it's best not to dock at the prison until you're sure you've settled your affairs and closed out any unfinished business.
Are you kidding? You get invited to the most interesting parties. I'm in.
I ain't abandoning my crew, Captain.
In my experience, you can try to run, but the past always catches up in the end. I'm committed to seeing this through.
Waiting on your command, Captain.
Something on your mind?
You think I could hire myself out to ships in need someday? Be my own mechanic, like how Ellie's her own doctor? I wonder sometimes. Oh, right. About the Groundbreaker's engineer, Junlei Tennyson. I was thinking that maybe I ought to meet her. If you got time to swing us by, I mean. I don't got much experience fixing actual spaceships. I bet you a can of Borston beans she could teach me all manner of stuff. Thanks, Captain. I'll be sure to make it worth your time. Did you want to talk about something else?
Hey, Cap. Parvati showed me how to properly grease the magazine release on one of my firearms. She's a smart one, you know. Opal was quiet in the same way. She'd hang back, out of sight, then all of a sudden pop in with a bit of wisdom out of nowhere. Shit. Look at me dredging up bygone days. Forget I said anything. I will.
Anyone with eyes to see would not be shocked to hear that the colony is dying. But the board's solution, on the other hand, choosing to save themselves and their families and friends at the expense of the rest of the colony? Those fucking bastards. What are we going to do about this? Yes, of course. And when you do, you can count on me to back your play. Your instincts haven't failed us so far. Anything you'd like to discuss?
Captain, I am pleased to inform you that we have successfully landed on Tartarus. Please be advised that electrical storms on the surface of Tartarus make departure impossible at this time. Oh, speak of the devil. Captain, I am receiving a transmission from the prison's docking authority now.
You're the backup, right? From Akande? Thank the law you're here. These bloodthirsty sprat bags have no respect for the law. We're pinned down. Good. Came through a while ago, but we haven't heard from him or Adjutant Akande in too long. You've got to help us. Please, kill them. Summary justice for the whole lot. Their biometric ID? I could transmit it, but that'd be against Protocol H927G. If anyone found out, I'd get thrown into a cell right alongside these damn prisoners. I'm never supposed to violate protocol. Never. All right, but if anyone gets on my case about this, I'm sending them straight to you. Got it? There, data transmitted. Hope this disguise of yours works. Tartarus security out.
Transmission terminated. Biometric ID received. Transferring data to external cartridge. How can I be of assistance? I'll be here.
Planned on seeing the inside of this place.
I've got to admit, I'm not too keen on walking into a prison. They lock me up, I'm liable to kill everyone trying to get back out.
Nice of them to leave us a few options.
All right, MSI. I'm not one for rousing speeches, but the captain needs our help. So, get in there and... fuck!
Whoa, hold on. Where'd you come from? You from Solitary? Whoa. What was it like out there? Damn. Well, thank the Void we don't ever have to go back.
take a breath now, folks. Once we're up there, I suspect we ain't gonna have time to stop shooting.
When I pulled you out of the Hope, I never imagined you'd turn me over to the board. Planting a bug in my terminal? That's low. We could have saved this colony, you know. That was always the plan. I revive you, you do as I say. I tell you to go there, get me this, shoot that, and you do as I say. If you'd just listened to me, we could have rescued everyone on the Hope. We could have been the saviors of Halcyon. But you didn't listen. No one in this damn colony ever listens. Ha! No, of course not. You're the board's lackey now. And isn't that just paying dividends? The thought of someone as brilliant as you working for that miserable gang of odious bureaucrats. Merciful law. It's downright unfair. What did they tempt you with, Power? Money? One of those fancy reclining chairs? Of course you do. You and your iron will. You've always been driven by powerful convictions. Once you set your mind to something, you are impervious to arguments. This is how the board operates. It's not enough that they should win. They must see me fail. Well, I haven't failed, do you hear me? I still have one last gambit. I've got Adjutant Akande here with me, and I'm going to put a bullet through her eye. I can't imagine we've got anything left to say. Of course you had a choice. You could have chosen any number of ways to tell the board to get spaced. You could have fought back. You could have spit in the board's eye. I refuse to believe that. You make it sound as if we're beaten from the start. The board's only strong because no one fights back. I didn't want things to end this way, you know. For a brief moment in my life, I truly believed we had a chance to save this colony. My life's work has been an exercise in futility. The only honorable way to end it is to go down fighting. Surrender? Oh, I've had a bounty on my head for years. What do you expect will happen if I surrender? Torture, execution. The board has already extracted the secret of reviving colonists from me. I'm no longer useful to them, so they'll make an example of me. You're trying to tempt me with your lies. It won't work. I'll never return to working for the board. Not if all the lives in Halcyon depended on it. Enough! I can't take any more of this. I know what you're trying to do, torturing me with your words, reminding me of all my failures. Yes, I failed. There, I've said it. I'm a failure. I failed the colony. I failed myself. I failed you. Congratulations. You've broken me. Does that put a smile on your face, you monster? So you found out. I suppose it's not enough that you ruin my every plan. You must also humiliate me by reminding me of my failures. Yes, I've killed people. Is that what you wanted to hear? I experimented on dozens of the Hope's colonists. Every last one of them died in agony. Yes, all except you. You were my only success, and my greatest failure. I never should have revived you. Everything you've done, all the plans you've ruined, all the lives you destroyed. I caused it all. Why not? There's nobody else trying to revive the Hope. There's nobody else fighting the board. There's nobody else who gives a damn about this colony. There's nobody else at all. I'm completely on my own. I'm sorry for all that I've done, and for what I'm about to do. So am I. I'm sorry about all this. I'm sorry about everything. It's just, I just wish we could have... Never mind. It doesn't matter.
Thank the law you're here. That madman was out of control. At least Wells did you the courtesy of saving you a bullet. I'll have one of my soldiers toss his body out on the surface. And what about you? You aren't hurt, I hope. I'm not hurt. Well, except for my pride. I can't believe that lunatic got the better of me. You've put down the worst riot in our history. Rid the colony of a dangerous madman, and saved my life. The board owes you a tremendous debt. We don't have a moment to lose. We're gonna have to work together to save Halcyon, because the situation is far worse than you imagined. I would like nothing more than to celebrate your victory, Captain. But we have a serious problem on our hands. We've lost all contact with Earth. It's been 3 years since we've received a message. We've had no contact, no signals, nothing. Earth has gone dark. 2 years ago, the Earth Directorate's frigate disappeared en route to Earth. We don't know if they ever made it. We don't know if there's an Earth to go back to.
They haven't exactly been hands-on around here anyway. So there's one less rubber stamp to worry about.
Earth was more than just some distant colonial authority, Dr. Fenhill. Earth was our lifeline. And now, we've been cut loose.
So we've got to make do on our own. Seems to me that'll make us stronger in the end anyhow.
We must find a way to carry on by ourselves. For better or worse. Halcyon is the only home we have left. We're alone, Captain. That's all I know for certain. Whatever happens to this colony, we're going to have to deal with it on our own. Returning to Earth is not an option. I'll answer however I can. Not a word. We received our last message 3 years ago. Our every attempt at reaching out to Earth has been met with absolute silence. The Earth Directorate's frigate accounts for half of our military forces. 2 years ago, that frigate disappeared while returning to Earth. We haven't heard a word back. Without the Directorate's frigate, our military forces are barely capable of maintaining control over this colony. I couldn't risk this news getting out. Before you, the 2 people in this colony who knew the truth were Chairman Rockwell and I. I had every intention of telling you the truth after you'd skipped the Hope to Tartarus. Unfortunately, Phineas Wells chose that moment to start a riot. Yes, we do have a long road ahead of us. But I have faith in you. The service you've done for this colony is nothing short of extraordinary. You're the reason I'm still standing here today. The board will survive because of you. And as the board goes, so goes Halcyon. It's time we carried out the program. I trust I can count on your support, Captain. I support your decision wholeheartedly. You've proven yourself the most capable leader in the colony. Now more than ever before, Halcyon needs strong leadership and a steady guiding hand. I look forward to serving as your adjutant. We're on our own now. Earth isn't coming to save us, so we're going to have to save ourselves.
The OSI teaches that everything in the universe happens according to the grand plan. But the stranger that arrived in Halcyon was an unplanned variable. From the moment she landed in Emerald Vale, her actions altered the course of history. The riots in Tartarus ended in a total victory for the board. Without any significant threats to challenge their power, the board asserted their control over the colony. The lifetime employment program began immediately, and the people of Halcyon did exactly what they were expected to do. They obeyed. Sophia Akande converted the labyrinth from a prison to a processing center. She jettisoned the original colonists out of the Hope and transformed the ship into a massive storage facility. One by one, the workers of Halcyon surrendered themselves to the program. They arrived with their families and their friends, their colleagues and their neighbors, and then, one by one, they marched into their stasis chambers. As the workers of Halcyon slept in their hibernation chambers, their settlements became ghost towns, left behind by the board to be reclaimed by nature. Only Byzantium remained, a shining beacon of civilization in an otherwise abandoned colony. The people of Byzantium spent the rest of their days gorging themselves on their stockpile of resources. As for the workers of Halcyon, they never felt the effects of the collapse. They never felt anything at all. The board's focus on Byzantium closed the door on much of Sanjar's civil liberties movement. As the last few townships withered away, MSI had little room to grow. Ever the savvy businessman, however, Sanjar pivoted and established Stellar Bay as the colony's supplier of luxury seafood. Catering to the elite, MSI was allowed to continue operations as a member of the Halcyon board, and became more successful than Sanjar could ever have dreamed. Edgewater's cannery met its production quota for the first time in 3 years. As a result, the adjutant rewarded every worker in Edgewater with a place in the lifetime employment program. Reed Dobson was granted 25 years in suspended animation. However, a computing error adjusted his duration to 250 years. A trouble ticket to resolve this error remains open. Junlei Tennyson struggled to maintain the Groundbreaker's independence. Mechanical failures forced her to make increasingly uncomfortable compromises to stabilize her ship. The board bought her out of the Groundbreaker one deck at a time. While she kept the ship intact, her role as captain became a symbolic one. As smaller settlements were swallowed up and their workers drafted into the lifetime employment program, Byzantium continued to thrive. While its citizens lived in decadence and extravagance, a small cadre of scientists worked to solve the nutrition crisis that threatened Halcyon. No one else much noticed the townships that disappeared from the map, or the luxuries that slowly lost their luster year by year. Ellie savored her adventures on the Unreliable. Once they were done, she returned to life as usual, running missions of dubious legality, shunning respectable work, and living life to the fullest. She meant to reach out to her one-time captain, but she was always bad at keeping in touch. As a reward for his part in her courageous rescue, the adjutant invited the vicar known as Max to become one of the leaders of the Order of Scientific Inquiry. Max eventually rose to the top, becoming the presiding bishop of the OSI. He denounced his spiritual meanderings as a misguided attempt to come to terms with his long-dead parents. His only regret was that they had not lived long enough to see that he was right all along. Though Parvati eventually grew comfortable aboard the Unreliable, she never quite came out of her shell, and she often wished aloud that her dad was still alive to teach her about the finer points of starship care and maintenance. As the board began to roll out their lifetime employment program, Parvati was plagued by dreams of freezing to death. She began taking increasingly longer shore leaves, and she eventually disappeared from the Unreliable entirely. The board never knew what became of her, and under the adjutant's orders, they never tried to find out. Parvati was afforded a measure of peace and left to her own devices. As hard as she tried to drink them away, Nyoka's memories eventually overcame her. Traveling with the crew served as a constant reminder of the family she'd lost, and so she eventually returned to Monarch to get back to what she found most comfortable: the deep end of a bottle and the far end of a trail. Few have seen her since, but travelers often swear they hear her and her machine gun in the night, screaming swears and spitting bullets. Before his untimely death, Captain Alex Hawthorne had plans to restore and modify, for combat purposes, a sanitation and maintenance automechanical that he'd found in a state of disrepair in Emerald Vale's scrapyard. That unit remains broken down and forgotten in the unreliable supply closet to this day. Though Minister Clark was eventually released from house arrest, long years of isolation left him a changed man, little suited for bureaucratic work or for the colony that was changing around him. He remained in his estate largely by choice, fading from public view. Adjutant Sophia Akande was instrumental in executing the Lifetime Employment Program. Following the death of Chairman Rockwell, Sophia Akande served as the loyal adjutant to her former freelancer, now the most powerful person in Halcyon. With Halcyon's workers suspended in a state of hibernation, starvation and chaos are problems of the past. The Lifetime Employment Program succeeded in its goals, but that success came at a price. The Halcyon of today is nothing at all like the colony of yesteryear. Power remains concentrated in Byzantium, but all the colony's resources serve the lifestyle of the elite, thereby transforming Halcyon into one of the smallest and most exclusive colonies in the system. And what about you, the unplanned variable in the history of Halcyon? You brought an end to the chaos on Tartarus and proved yourself the most capable leader left in the colony. With Sophia Akande as your adjutant, you returned in triumph to Byzantium. All of Halcyon was yours. In time, you demonstrated a talent for leadership that far surpassed your predecessor, Chairman Rockwell. With your steady hand, you guided Halcyon through the turbulent years to follow and helped ensure the colony's survival. No one knows what's happened to Earth, and no one knows what the future has in store for Halcyon. All we know for certain is this: the name of the Unreliable and that of its intrepid captain will remain the subject of countless stories for years to come.